Meet George Russell, the young Formula One legend who has made a name for himself by racing for Mercedes. From karting to the world of Formula One, George has achieved a lot in his career. Not only is he killing it on the racetrack, but his personal life is also on fire. From his $1 million garage to his crazy watch collection, Georgie boy really knows how to spend the big bucks he's making at Mercedes. Oh, and he's got an investor girlfriend too. Welcome to the F1 Wealthy Update, where we peel back the curtain and take a look at the glam lives of these speed demons. From their fat paychecks to their flashy rides and fancy lifestyles, we'll give you a VIP tour of these drivers. Live it up and spend their cash. Now let's take a trip down memory lane and talk about the man, the myth, the young legend. Born in King's Lynn, Norfolk in 1998, George grew up in Wisbech, Cambridgeshire, where his passion for karting started at the age of 7. Growing up, George spent most of his time around karting tracks and his family's backyard, which they used as a motor repair shop. From British Open champion to becoming Formula Super 1 British champ and winning the Kartmasters British Grand Prix, George made a name for himself in motor racing. In 2014, George achieved his single-seater debut in the Renault 2.0 Alps Championship, ending the season P4. After 2 seasons in the FIA Formula 3 European Championship, George stepped up to GP3, winning the title in his first season. He repeated the feat 1 year later in his debut F2 season, just like Charles Leclerc. George signed for Williams in 2019 and made his debut in the 2019 Australian Grand Prix, alongside Robert Kubica finishing 19th. After standing in for Lewis Hamilton due to COVID-19, George was contracted to drive for Williams until the 2021 season, making him the first Briton to go for Williams since 2009 world champion. In 2021, George almost pulled off the biggest shock in Formula One history at the Belgian Grand Prix qualifying session, securing his first podium finish. He kept his head down, scoring his first points and podium at Williams, proving himself a hard worker and tenacious talent. George's dream became a reality when he got the chance to race for a Mercedes alongside the 7-time champion Hamilton. He relished the opportunity, taking his first F1 win in Brazil and finishing 4th in the Drivers' Championship, 2 places and 35 points ahead of his illustrious teammate. So there you have it, the story of George Russell, the boy from King's Lynn who became a motorsport legend. It just goes to show that with hard work, dedication, and a little bit of luck, anything is possible. However, not only is Russell killing it on the racetracks, but his personal life is also on fire. He's been dating the gorgeous Carmen Montero Munt for 3 years now, and things seem to be going pretty well. Carmen is an investment broker, which means she knows a thing or two about managing money. Rumor has it that she's also pretty good at wealth management and inheritance tax planning, so it looks like George won't have to worry about his finances anytime soon. With a girlfriend like Carmen, he's got it made. And let's not forget that Carmen is a total babe. She's often seen on the paddock cheering on her man during race weekends. I mean, who wouldn't want a supportive partner like that? Plus, with her skills in finance, it won't be long before she's a millionaire too. Talking about millions, Georgie boy is making some serious bank with his new contract at Mercedes. His current contract deal with Mercedes is worth a whopping $8 million per year. That's some serious dough. But wait, there's more. If he wins the championship, he'll collect an additional $3 million bonus. Can you imagine? Winning races and making bank? Sign us up, please. Let's not forget where George started. He was making a measly $1 million salary at Williams, and now he's moved on up to Mercedes. We couldn't be happier for him. However, that's not the only paycheck George is bringing home. The youngster has everything to be the face of some of the biggest brands out there, so it's no surprise that some big-name brands are lining up to work with him. I'm talking about brands like Mercedes-AMG Petronas, Puma, Bell Helmets BRDC, Alpine Stars, and MDM Designs, who all want a piece of the action. Oh, and did I mention the dollar signs involved in these endorsement deals? Let's just say that George is not only a force to be reckoned with on the track, but also in the boardroom. Rumor has it that his deal with Mercedes-AMG Petronas alone is worth a whopping $500,000. But that's not all. Puma is reportedly paying George $375,000 to represent their brand, and he also gets all the free gear from the company as well. How cool! Bell Helmets and MDM is shelling out $200,000 for his endorsement. Honestly, it's no surprise that these brands are willing to invest so much in George. His talent and potential are simply undeniable, and the exposure he can give them is priceless. And the best part is, Russell is putting all those millions he's making to good use. Just check out his incredible garage worth a whopping $3.7 million. Now, you may be wondering what kind of cars George Russel is keeping in his garage. Let me tell you, he's got quite the collection. The guy is a huge car enthusiast, and he's definitely not afraid to show it. Let's start with the big guns, shall we? Russell's got a McLaren GT worth $800,000. This baby is a true supercar with a top speed of 203 miles per hour and can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.1 seconds. It's got a 4.0-liter V8 engine that produces a whopping 620 horsepower, which is more than enough to get your heart racing. Next one on the list is a Mercedes-Benz AMG GT that's worth a cool $1 million. It's got a top speed of 196 miles per hour and can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.1 seconds, which is the same as the McLaren GT. It's powered by a 4.0-liter V8 engine that produces 577 horsepower, which is still pretty impressive. George must have gotten a discount on this car as well, but wait, there's more. Our boy George also has a Ferrari 812 Red that's worth a jaw-dropping $950,000. That's almost $1 million just for one car. He's also got a Bentley Bentayga, which is actually an SUV. It's got a top speed of 190 miles per hour and can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.0 seconds, which is impressive for an SUV. Basically, it's a small mansion on wheels. It's worth $815,000. And last but not least, he's got a BMW X6 worth $180,000, which is still pretty impressive if you ask me. Now, that is some crazy car collection. I don't think any else in F1 has a better collection of cars than that. Watches now, folks. Hold on to your hats because we're about to talk about George Russell's watch collection. And let me tell you, it's pretty sick. It seems like he's caught the watch bug from none other than the man himself, Lewis Hamilton, who is famously known for his crazy watch collection. One thing that makes George's watches even more special is that Mercedes, the team he drives for, has a deal with IWC Schaffhausen, a Swiss luxury brand. They collaborate with both Mercedes drivers and team boss Toto Wolff to produce some iconic watches. Now, let's talk about George's extensive watch collection, which includes some seriously fancy timepieces. First up, we have a Blancpain worth $300,000. This watch is a true masterpiece and is known for its impeccable craftsmanship and attention to detail. Next up, we have a Breguet Fliss worth $365,000 and a Patek Philippe worth $250,000. Now, let's talk about the big guns, shall we? George also has a Hublot worth $600,000. This watch is a real showstopper and is known for its unique design and top-notch materials. It's the kind of watch that will turn heads wherever you go. Now, it's clear that George Russell is living the high life as an F1 driver for Mercedes. So let's get down to the juicy stuff. The net worth. According to Marca, Russell's net worth is a whopping $16 million. That's enough money to buy whatever you want and live an amazing life. And that's what George is doing. I mean, why not? He's worked hard for it, and he deserves to splurge a little. And get this, that figure is a massive increase from the reported $1 million valuation just 2 years back. It looks like George Russell is making bank, and he's doing it in style. The youngster is not just any driver, mind you. He's one of the hottest properties in Formula 1 right now. The guy's got skills, and he's been showing them off in style. Which F1 character would you like to hear about next? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and also subscribe to my channel for your daily dose from the racing world. See you in the next one.